Alright guys, another beautiful day on the island here in Cape Breton. Here's another quick project for us. Right now will be, I mentioned it maybe before, but we're already talking past the midpoint of September. So, time to start thinking about pulling boats from the water and winterizing your RVs and motor coaches. But anyhow, here we go. Let's just do a quick rundown of what we need to do for this girl here before she hauls in the boat from the river. My son's boat, my son's trailer. We've been lucky enough he's been able to leave it with us, and that way we get to enjoy their visits when they come and take it out on the river. And well, he's quite busy at his place, building a new place, as he started, picked up 25 plus acres on here on the island, and starting to homestead himself. Him and his wife and our granddaughter are getting into a real big project. And hopefully I can see the first couple of steps of it hanging around. So here we go. Next, some minor little job of Fuc.CancerFixCoaches and other things. This time it'll be this girl here. All right, we'll need to get into repairing the lights, rewiring it. I have wire kicking around. We got a fender rotted off, the other one not so great, so I think he's ordering some fenders. The winch strap for the boats has seen better days. So rollers have also seen better days and seized, cracked up and seized. So I'll put together a list of parts needed. I think he's already ordered in a set of tail lights. We'll see if those ID lights are still functional. He's got a kit that has some tail lights. We'll look up on the Amazonia website some boat fenders for 15-inch wheel, and then I'll run it by him to see if we put in the little bullet lights. Put in a little bullet light here, more simpler. Just drill a hole. They sit in a grommet. Up here where this one's got smashed, same thing. Drill a hole, sits in a grommet, and then we can use the DOT tape. Because like you say, oh, that one's got a reflector. Yeah, well, we can install some DOT tape in a couple of spots on the sides. Right there, some DOT tape, some fenders. We'll get this girl fixed up so she can pull the boat out of that gorgeous river down there and nest it away for another winter. Autumn. It's some of the best working days in autumn, and just let you know what's coming next. So, like I said, I'll head in and either in the shop or down in the house, a little better internet strength, and we will get on some gooling, some parts, run those parts by my son, see if he wants to. When we get those parts in, we'll get on to repairing some wires, replacing some fenders, a strap, and we'll maybe even include a little clip of running down to the boat club there, Myra Boat Club, and pulling the boat in on the trailer and bringing her back in here and tucking her in here. Another quick little job this morning with my son's left his unit here for him. Like I said, we're trying to get use harvest hosts and boondockers, and trying to get a second site in here leveled out. We'll dig a little bit more out, get rid of some of those roots, get that leveled off, a load of stone put in, and I think we might make that our premium, our main boondocker site. Love that Harvest Host Boondocker program. Hopefully put it to use when we're heading down in that girl to Florida if I get cleared at the end of November, beginning December. See if the cancer's still not going nuts. Like I say, my dark passengers a little quiet last month or two, thanks to treatments. Thanks to the treatments I've gotten from the Cape Breton Regional Hospital and the wonderful, marvelous oncology department there. By all means, I only had given a date of around 3 months if we did nothing, and not even sure what the possible date would be even with the attempt. They've given me a beautiful summer to enjoy with my kids, my granddaughter, and be able to do some repairs like I like doing, and give a quick stab at this YouTube thing. I've always sat around enjoying YouTubes. Love the content of people like Derek, Mortsky, and Puddin', and then for repairs and just automotive entertainment, and then the tips from friend Jason there for dog behavior and best way to look after your fur babies, and yeah, other people out there just, you know, when you're sitting, you know, through your treatments and that, and you take in, it's gotten to the point, I don't know what the rest of you think, leave it in the comments, but TV ain't worth watching, regular TV. I know here in Canada, especially the news, she ain't the news. Weatherman is about the most truthful lately, it seems. That it's the way we've gotten to be, and that good thing for the YouTubes there, that we get to see other things, not bad programming, and you actually get to pick what you want programming, not dictated to you. And oh, we'll offer you this package with so many channels and they all suck. You can sit there and go, okay, your YouTube channel sucks. All right, stop watching. Pick another YouTube to watch. Do that right now. If you're saying I'm suck, just saying. No matter what your health is, just do something. Try a channel. I'm giving her a try. She won't be a long try, but I'm giving her a try. You know, projects like that, quick little trailer repair, things like the Jenny repairs I've first posted when I give this a try. The Aqua Hot I repaired when I first started getting a little better, and should have recorded that. That thing was, when she was firing up, she was smoking. The motor would slow down in RPMs, the blower motor, fuel pump motor, slow down in RPMs, and she'd start blowing black soot like the train at Dollywood there. Holy smokes. And then code out. Took that thing apart, cleaned up the motor, injected some high-grade oil into the bearings, and she's been, the Aqua Hot system's been purring. You know, so as I say, off your arse, just enjoy this. Do jobs like this, do jobs on your yard. Days go by nicer, and especially when the days are as nice as this. Okay, I better go look up some parts, stop gnawing your ear off. Alrighty guys, got some time to do one of the repairs, or start one of the repairs on my son's boat trailer there. He's had this kit kicking around, and so I found it. We'll do a little straightening up from the last job in the shop. Thought, all right, let's see what he's got and what we still need to order. And well, we have Finnegan doing a drag and drive in the background. Sound off now, put her back on when I'm done with this little clip, but let's see what he's got in this kit. More likely came from the Amazonies. But, alrighty. So, instructions, license bracket, nice chunk of 4-wire. With the ground, only a short ground. I always like running the grounds to everything. And that, I guess on a boat trailer, you can do car trailer, race trailer, or your coaches or RVs. Like, try to run a ground wire to the end. All right, 2 clearance with reflective lenses, 2 taillights, LED with reflective lenses, and license light as well. Bolts for those lights, clips for the frame, and right straight to the garbage can. Scotch locks. Jeez, never ever. Even people say, oh, in case of emergency, use them. Well, you know what? These usually cause your emergency. Don't use the Scotch locks. Use some nice heat shrink cans, or solder them together and heat shrink over, or a little extra time, and no issues. So the first thing we'll do out there, we'll just yank all the old stuff off. We'll use farting around, working around old stuff. We might do something different there. That unit has hydraulic tongue brake with disc, and it has a wire going into it, which we're going to have to research that. I did not think they had electric override, or I thought they were surge style. Did not think they were electric brake. But off the blue, off this 5-prong plug, off the blue, you run one into here. So look in, research this girl and see why is power running into what to me looks like a surge brake. Hydraulic unit, disc. I'm going to research that too and get back to you as that as well. So, like I said, yank all the old off, pull her out. Why? Main reason why. Right there. Jesus. And we might pick another cable than what it has, or just tie a white with it. So we run a ground wire to the back. Love running ground wires to your actual lights. Overkill, yes. It's going to hurt you, no. And then, all right, so I'm yanking all this out and get back to you. Alrighty, there we go. Not even 5 minutes, cut that out. Alone half a dozen Scotch locks. Another thing notice there is it's got a nice mount for the tongue jack. Looks like it's failed or something happened and got removed, and somebody's put on like a Princess Auto aftermarket one. I might just see if those bolt holes line up roughly for that mount. Take that back plate off, get some short bolts, and actually bolt that into there. Cleans her up. Why have 2 mounts? The other light on the passenger rear, go get a wrench, take it off, but the driver's rear was broken, just hanging there anyhow. Yes, we will be acquiring a tripod or YouTube stick or whatever the heck you call them there, and then I could set this phone up like that, so you can see my lovely aching slowpoke body move around and do a small job like this. You go, hey, I could do it faster. Yep, I just love the fact that I can do it at all. And that, so maybe we'll do a little thing for my son as well while he's busy with his big projects, which hopefully one day we'll get to show you on the YouTubes here, and show you what he's getting at. But if we can get this patched up so we get a functional lights, functional brakes, and new strap for that blown apart one, you know, and get some Deep Creep. Not a sponsor. Again, like I said, nobody knows these people wouldn't even know I exist, but you know, 45, 50 years in the trade doing it, you find some things work nice. And that Deep Creep on those bolts, I'll give them a little shot and let it soak in. I think I heard my son mention somebody's got to readjust this properly for when the boat's sitting on here, so it's tied in better. And yeah, not paid for by Deep Creep, but hey, if something works, it works. Just like everyone out there mentioning on the other sites, and I would love to get my hands on it one day, is that can of Kroll penetrating oil. People swearing by that stuff as well, but you know, Deep Creep, I don't know how far behind it would be of the other, if it is. And PB Blaster guys, you guys pump out a bunch of good stuff as well, so use what you got, and that's what I got. So I'll spray them, get a wrench, remove that back light, and then I'm going to dig through my tickle trunk, see what I got kicking around for some better quality wire that, other than what came with that kit. I would love to find jacketed 3-wire I could run down both sides. Love to find or pick up a small junction box too, electrical junction box, mount it right there. It's always nice on any trailer. Give yourself a junction box up front, so then you only run a short stab from that to your plug that's going to go on your bumper, and that, because that section there, and the section with the plug, that's one that gets mutilated 99% of the time. So it gives you a quick working spot. Plug her in on somebody else's truck one day and don't have lights, just take the cover off for your little test light, check right there, go, all right, it's not my trailer, it's your truck, buddy. And that, so especially after it's fixed up here, see how clean the connections are, then I'd be saying right off the bat anyhow, it's your truck, buddy. But yeah, so again, jacketed 3-wire would be nice, that way we can do the left turn clearance and a ground down that rail, right turn clearance down this rail with a tap off for midship clearance light. And then from this box here, if we put a junction box here, we can do our 2 tap offs, short little lead for the 2 front up here. And like I said, if I find in my tickle trunk I have some red white conspicuously tape, I'm sure you'll comment if I said that wrong, but reflective tape for trailers. Put a little dab on there, maybe there, put a little whack on it back here, a little whack on here, and then more like on each side back here. And that really never hurts. Here where there's population's pretty thin, this trailer's sitting on property, not too bad. But when you're in a busier spot, I know when we're down at Watkins Glen for the NASCAR race, we're at across from our campsites and marina, there's trailers all parked in there and the whole bit, and you get somebody wheeling in there at night, black trailer, no reflective material on her at all, bad things happen. Few bucks, a little bit of reflection, limit your bad things. All right, wrench for the light. Yeah, stop repeating myself. Wrench for the light. Let's get her done. Then I'll check my tickle trunk for material. Yeah, so when I'm referring to checking tickle trunk for parts, referring to when you're 45 years plus being in the trade, you sort of acquire stuff. In the bigger shop I had before, like they double amount of tickle trunks. Now we're down to, let's call these tickle trunks, and that where you put extra hardware, extra wire you've come across over the years. you know what happens. You know, I got coach parts, got sort of, you know, bolts and hardware, funnels, ratchet traps, load traps, stuff you acquire, and then you get rid of some, and then, you know what? That part you just got rid of is the one you need. You always see those jokes where it's like, I need that bolt exactly 2 weeks after I threw it out with the rest of the bin. But anyhow, I got a couple here that are trailer wiring. I'm going to check, see if I got a nice 3-conductor jacketed wire that can go down left-hand side and right-hand side of that trailer. If not, over there with my wiring selection. And then we can continue on. Morning, everybody. A little cloudy one here on the island today. Hopefully some rain moving in, a little rain. But we got updates. And I still don't have a holder yet, so we're still, this is in the beginning, the infancy of this channel. Well, I'm trying to just put some material that can be edited. So as I'm walking around, like I said, we got updates. As for using my son's tractors, he's left it here for us a couple of days. Well, he's on to a bigger job at his place, or going on for him. These, again, we're not affiliated. We use them, we love them. Boondockers and Harvest Hosts, but we've leveled out the area, waiting for a load of gravel of what's going to be our primary boondocker site, which, you know, we started this year. We ended up with, I think, 20, 30 guests, but this would be the view for your overnight stay as you're popping in, as you're moving through with the boondocker site. And then again, Harvest Host as well, which we paid into and hope to use heading south this winter if my dark passenger doesn't come back attacking me full force and gives me at least one winter of what we planned for our retirement, which would be down south, enjoying our American friends, enjoying racing, Daytona 500, NASCAR. You're slipping on some of the other things. I mean, you've dropped the content of what's going on at a track for us camping there on the weekend. You said to cut costs for the race teams, but the campsites didn't drop cost. And we sit there and we like to see cars on the track, and well, the weekend there's nothing on the track. And for some of the track owners, they don't up it with entertainment. Watkins Glen isn't in that. They bring in some nice entertainment for you to enjoy while you are there for the weekend. Always enjoyed that track. And other ones as well, but Pocono really let things slip. It's almost a dead airspace when there's, at that place when there's no cars. Shoot in the comments if I'm wrong, but I mean, us and a group of other people who've done NASCAR events have took the Pocono part out of our thing since COVID, because it just got, you were sitting in a dead air campground and paying the same price. But I digress. Let's go on. So, updates here. Everything yanked out of this, cut off, pile of that. So we will run new wires. I want to put a junction box on. I always love a junction box. So that way you have a short wire that's to your hookup on your vehicle, because that little short one is the one that gets screwed up all the time. And like I said before, if I added that before and put it in, is that way you pop that off, can quickly check if it's the trailer's the problem or whoever's truck toner that day, and you can say you're the problem quickly, not having to poke your wires. Back probing, guys, don't do it. You mechanics out there know what I'm talking about. The people who love sticking their test lights into those wires and thinking, oh, that's the way to check if there's power there. Yeah, it's also the way to let corrosion get in, and then that green magic gets in there, and that green magic works its way, corrodes that little tiny piece that you can hardly see. And what's next? Oh, light's not working. Why is the light not working? Everything looks good till you look very fine. See a little swollen part in the wire, give it 1 or 2 wiggles, and it comes apart because you had to poke the wire. All right, so that's it for updates today. I gotta get going on a project that I won't put on the camera because people out in the YouTube's worlds will go, oh my God, you can't do that. So you know what? I'm going to just not put it on a video. And that it's a project we're doing. It's legit, but just some people get upset when you do things like that. And it's like, all right, I'm not into upsetting people. This video's here to, I'm not going to say uplift people, but just let people know, hey, you know what? Get on with your lives. Terminal, sick, chronic, whatever it is, get on with it. You know, get over yourself. No one gets out of here alive. We all die in the end. So much for the uplifting part, eh? Jesus. No, but that's what it comes down to. Just while you are here, do the best you can. Enjoy life the best you can. Enjoy your people the best you can. Friends, family, granddaughters. You got that right. And I think my granddaughter's hyped on coming over to help Grumpy edit this YouTube project I've got myself into. She's playing cards with her the other day. She's as excited as hell to show Grumpy how to do banners, thumbnails, and get my channel going. So this will be hopefully a couple of videos in. You're going, what the hell are you talking about? Well, at the time I videoed this or put it on my phone, it wasn't. We weren't even a going concern at that time. And my little munchkin's coming over. Daughter's helping as well. Try to get the account together and see if we can do this YouTube-y thing for a little bit of time that we got to show you. You know what? Still can do shit. All right, so that's it for the updates. Chat in a bit. All right, peeps, we're going to do a little more on boat wiring here today. We'll try to maybe throw these lights in place for the wiring. I was going to buy a junction box, but I think in one of my tickle trunks over there I have. Yeah, I do have a heavy duty box kicking around, and no use buying something if you got something and you know, and time left. Won't have another project that will need to use it. I can pretty well tell you that. So why be saying, oh, I'm going to save that for a later date when we know what's happening in the later date. And yeah, so we'll measure, as you can see here. Going to check the holes. Going to check the holes on the lights that came off that trailer. But if I know you can see there, yeah, I'm using the 1-inch mark. You can never trust the end of those tape measures. So we're talking 2-inch centers for your holes. I just got a carriage bolt, slides in them. What am I doing here? Boom. Let's go. Carriage bolt, slides in there on a 2-inch center. So grab the knee pad. Those of us have done there over 40 years. Kneeled on rocks and service calls, kneeled on concrete. You know what? Why do that to your body? Knee pads are cheap. Get them from the Amazonia website type thing, or pick one up, I don't know, somewhere else kicking around. Maybe we can do it from this side. Oh, looks like we're not even going to have to get into that. Lights that got knocked off of here. I've done my rough running of wiring down both sides, which I will end up putting into a loom. Right now, Would you look at that? I think the most I'll have to do is let's find a decent well, they might be high. That's the only thing. They might be too high up here and that might jam in on there, but we kind of want to leave this protection on, being a boat trailer. People standing around trying to take straps off. Yeah, see how, well, we got to order those. Okay. Yeah, get some of that. That's rotten, splitting right open. That's the one that does the heaviest work. The boat coming in. All right, so we'll go back, get the light. We'll find some fenders to go on those, and we'll just do a quick fit on each side, and we'll get back to you. Yes, I know. You can put in the comments again if you want. And that, because I haven't started this out yet. I've only thought of this or making this a legit thing in the last 2 weeks, and as things haven't hit out here yet. Things that have been ordered or going to be ordered to do this better. And I see people say, you suck again. You know, then we won't do it at all, maybe. But we might just do it to aggravate those type of people. But we will, yeah, so that way we can set up a tripod, sitting there looking at what we're doing. Hey, credit goes out to those guys do the YouTube stuff there, and you know those guys. I'm watching one in the garage going here right now. Again, he's mounted there now, but I mean, these guys most of the time can walk around holding it in their hand and keep themselves pretty good, but I'm already sucking at the amount of time it takes me to fix something due to my health and strength. I don't need to make it 5 times longer. I hear these guys always say take twice as long to set up cameras and to try to do anything. So I'm going to try to minimize your pain and agony watching an old fart plug away at something. And when we get into stuff like this, we'll get this mounted on a tripod and try to be a little bit more legit of a YouTuber instead of just an old man who said, you know what, I want to give this a stab before I'm done at what I'm doing in this body. All right, so these lights will go out, see how they sit in place. Oh, they got fender washers. All right, I'll use the fender wash, or not fender washers, they just got washers. I'll take them out with me, set them out. One trick, we go to splice. One, I like using good splices with heat shrink. And when you try to keep your looms that you put on, your protection, pretty small as possible. You don't want to have to put a 1/2-inch loom on there because you put 3 connectors here. I like, you got the room, kind of starts, stagger. I'll show you when it's done. But stagger your 3 joints in your harness. And the fat parts 1, 2, 3 fits into a looming, nice bit of wire looming nicer. Smaller loom size, looks neater, cleaner. I'll show you when I get that on there. All right, check with you in a bit. Yeah, we got updates. Those 2 holes work good width-wise, but for height-wise, against the banging against here, doesn't make it to there. Let me set this down for a minute. There, right there, made a line. Is that a focus? Anyhow, made a line where that sits in here. You want to keep this part on here. Like I said, people step on it at the back of the boat, don't even step on the lights. So from the bottom of the bracket, got about 1.25 inches. So 1.25 inches, so just below those. Might even do it at 1 inch. Just 1.25 inches. Do I get into? Yeah, 1.25 inches. We'll make 2 marks, drill 2 holes. And I'll do it at 1 inch. Arguing with myself here on the phone. All right, 1 inch, 2 inches apart, and then that way the bracket fits in, and you still have that up there to protect your light from what will happen. You know it will. All right. And like that, problem solved. Sits in there nicely with the bracket and the protection up top. We'll repeat the process on the other side, and then see what the next step will be. Whew. All right, after a bit of walking back and forth, a little winded, a little exhausted here. You might find I refer to my illness or my cancer as the dark passenger. Well, my dark passenger's kicking my ass a little bit today, but just in the winded part. But here we go. They bolted in, drilled it in, mounted the kit my son had got for his trailer. Now we're going to, I'll do it and then I'll just show a close-up of it once it's done. We're going to do there's a hole here in here for pass-through. I'm going to drill that so we can put a grommet in, and my 1/4 inch loom can pass through there. And when we do the splices on this side, I'll be splicing in a ground wire and a taillight wire to go back this little bit, because we got a splice here anyhow. We don't need to make another splice within a foot. Nothing's worse, like I found in my career, in that you're sitting there repairing a section of wiring on something, and splice there, splice 6 inches, another splice a foot further. No, we're doing splicing here anyhow. We're splicing a taillight and a ground wire. It doubles back in, and it'll be for your ID lights here in the middle. These ones don't have a ground to them. They're a single wire with the notorious Scotch connector, single wire. What I'll do is I'll clean a spot, mount the ground wire here, and then the ground wire is here for if we ever upgrade these ID lights. We've got a ground wire tie right into. Like I said, I think all the time with any electrical in your engine bays, but your lights run a frickin' ground wire to it, and that just makes things operate better. And you know, your houses have, you don't screw, somebody's going, never mind, that bad example. Somebody's going to say your house is made of metal, but just run the ground wire, use it at your lights, and everything functions a little better. So drill them out for grommets for my 1/4 inch loom. I'll go climb up, tickle trunk. I got one of a bunch of used looms acquired over the years from jobs. I think I got a good bit of 1/4 inch, the smallest loom, or smallest I got, to go over these wires, pass through those holes, clean them up, splice that in, splice the other side in without a tag off on it, and it'll be done and loomed up to the front. And then we will at the midship here, even though these fenders are going to get replaced, they're not getting replaced right now. One's missing, but because they're not in yet. But I want a midship light on there anyhow, so I will do a cut and a little tail off the harness here and in that area, and leave a little 2-foot section of tail for the future when the fenders go on, and the midship light to wire them in properly. Then it's already in. But then we'll come up, we'll get a junction box mounted over there. I'll continue with this at the back, give you another shot, quick update with the phone once I've done that stage. All right. Now, went and checked the tickle trunk up there. You can see the top one there marked gloom. Thought I acquired 1/4-inch loom over time. Might have used it on another project not too long ago. I didn't think I ate through all of it. The rest of that loom in there is like 1 inch, 3/4, and 1/2. That's overkill for what we're doing. So if I don't find another tote around here somewhere with trailer wire, young lad will have to order a roll off of the Amazonian website, I guess, and put on the wiring afterwards. It can slide on afterwards and handle that. So get onto the connections and get that done. All right, like I said, I'd show you the next step. So we have connectors like this for the wiring, crimp on, and nice 2-inch chunks of a good heat shrink with a sealant in it. So you crimp your wire connections, and then the heat shrink, heat her down, make sure she's good and sealed. Especially a unit like this here in our area, this trailer will be backing into either the ocean, salt water, or the river here close to the ocean, which would be brackish, salt water again. So you want these connections sealed up, and those crimp ones you crimp and heat all in one. Not a good use in this point, because usually when you crimp them and that they give a little bit of a split, there is a chance that they'll fail. You do it this way, you know, your heat shrink hasn't been crimped, so almost zero chance of failure. So this is what we've done we'll do on both sides, and then I'll show you once we're up at the junction box. Right, now we're finishing up. That light there's finished up. The loom goes on the harness there. But this side here, I'll go and show you what I was talking about with the staggering of your joints. There, when you're trying to splice, try to stagger your joints so all your splices aren't in one area in a loom. And so you end up with this being 3 times thicker than it needs to be when that one's there. Another one down there, another one there. This one here we've doubled up on the clearance and the ground, because it doubles back. You go and run to the ID lights there with a good ground back through here. So this light will get bolted back up and in, and then we'll tie in that, see if they work, give them a quick check, see if they work. Leave existing, then we'll drop 2 pigtails off for those midship lights, and then we'll be up to the front for the combining of everything and joining into a junction box. I guess we're doing this again. Finger must have hit something, stopped this, but material drill, knee pad, overkill on the junction box. But another great day. Like I said, sometimes some projects don't need to be knocked out immediately. Just do a little bit each time. This trailer's not need immediately, in a week or two, but so with the rewire, we're getting on to another step here. And all right, give credit due these YouTube mechanical guys doing repairs on the cars or other items that walk around. One, they got the holder, I know that, but hey, kudos to you guys. But we're going to do those. Got the overkill junction box We're going to use her, going to mount her in this area. The nice thing about doing that, like I said, always good to have a junction box, because it's the line from here that plugs into your vehicle. It always either gets, one, dragged on the road, two, pinched in a jackknife, or just gets damaged multiple ways all the time. And it's always just spliced in with the whole system. At least with the junction box, you got a nice, give yourself a nice trailer connection from here to your vehicle. Yeah, not there. Surmising, got it. So we'll get that junction box on, and then these can be leads from down the left side and the right side can be tied in. Then we'll mount the two front clearance lights that were part of the kit that the kid got for his trailer. And we'll drop off those mid leads, tie them in, and just curl them up. And then when those midship lights, when the fenders come for it, they can be wired in, but it'd be good to go. So I'll be killing this here again, because I only have two hands. And we'll drill this on, mount it on, and then head on to another project today. It's one I haven't been recording because it was a major project during the course of summer. Really slow at it, sometimes only minutes at it, sometimes a couple hours. But it was rebuilding the pump room under the house and the crawl space area of the house. It's coming to completion almost now. Needs to come to completion. These nights are starting to dip close to the freeze mark. And need to get that room closed up and its heat system in it to keep our water system safe for the evenings that are coming for sure up here on Cape Breton Island. She's here with friends back in Ontario. They've already had their frost here. We're about 3 weeks into September. Here so far, not yet. I think the river and the ocean keeps us behind on that schedule and that for now. So, but hey, you know it's coming. Trees are turning. There's some here. I'll show you some colors in a week or two. Right now you can see one or two odd ones poking out in the bush there, but the colors are coming to this beautiful island, and Cindy and I hope we'll get out on a drive on the Cabot Trail and enjoy them. And I think they're having a food truck rally on the Cabot Trail, where there'll be food trucks and the beautiful scenery of the Cabot Trail. Another beautiful thing to do up here, but we'll try to get that in on our bucket list as well. So enough chatting away here. We'll get this drill mounted on, and that will be the extent of the day, and I'll be on to another project. We'll continue this tomorrow. All right, guys. All right, so there we go. Just mounted for now, leave her for today, or get to it later. But ballpark what we're talking about for junction box, well, the 7-way up here coming in. We'll do it in a heavy 7-way because there's this hitch setup, disc brake. You can see, anyhow, disc brake on surge. You have this wire that's what I found in research, to your reverse lights. So we'll have her wired into reverse lights. Guess shuts down the solenoid, so when you're pushing backwards, you're not applying your brakes on the disc brake setup. On your drum brake setup, electric brake, you're pushing back on your, not electric, but on surge, when you're pushing backwards and it's activating, your brakes don't come on or don't grab as well in reverse as they do forward. Same in electric brake, but I guess to overcompensate how good disc brakes work, they put this solenoid in on the system to shut her down when your reverse lights come on, so you can back in. So there we go. We will tie that in, mount those lights that we have to go in there. That came in the son's kit, and the adapters that go in here for wires. I only got a couple here. I'm gonna head over to the son's to we used a couple of these boxes on a major project. He rebuilt this spring. He rebuilt a all right, we get updates. That clearance light installed nicely. Wire on it to run over with that group. We'll tape them together and over junction box, but nice and clean. Mount and drilled and tapped. I'll show you here quickly. Drilled her out for rubber grommet for the wires to pass through in a rubber grommet, and drilled and tapped for a 6/32 screw, which you Americans might call an anti-theft head. Us Canadians would call a green Robbie, green Robertson. Be a number 1, and they even go smaller. A little bit of anti-seize will go on that screw, because you know it'll never come out in one piece. Put one more block off plate. Those will join through here and here. Next phase will be cleaning up these ends, wiring in, spray it with some dielectric, close her up. Then we'll just wait for winch parts, roller parts to come in, and we'll finish that off. So I'll button this up. Looks like rain might be moving in. We need her, and I'll plug away at this wiring until the rain starts, and then we'll go inside and watch some YouTube videos to figure out how to post a YouTube video. Haven't even posted my start of these projects, which, like I said, just decided 2 weeks ago, and that, so we'll look to see how to do that, and maybe during the course of this rain, the first video of Fuc.CancerFixCoaches and trailers and yard modifications and house repairs. But you know, you got to come up with at least one title, and coaches it is. We, in the last 20 years, have done a lot of coach repairs, but now we'll note some of them and some of the other repairs until my dark passenger stops this project. All right, take care.